Hey everyone, I am your astrologer Brittany with Horoscope.com. Here are 3 things you need to know in order to make today, Friday, February 15th, 2019, a success. Now the first thing I want to talk about is going to be right here where the moon is. Now in this chart we've got the moon in Cancer, but at the very beginning of the day the moon will be right here at the last degrees of Gemini. When the moon's in Gemini, it brings our attention to communicating, talking, also working as well with siblings and neighbors, people that we're familiar with around town. Now what we have going on early this morning is this moon in Gemini over here in a trine with the sun in Aquarius. And what this can bring are lots of conversations that you may be having with this moon in Gemini about your future, about where you want your life to go, about your goals and dreams as well that could come up. That's going to stick with us for a few hours. The next alignment is going to happen maybe around breakfast time as some of us are getting up and getting going. Around that time, this moon in Gemini is then going to come a square with Chiron in Pisces. This can be a little bit of a challenge just because Chiron can bring some events that make us feel uncomfortable or insecure. So we're trying to envision our future, think about, talk about our future and our goals and dreams as well, but maybe we're feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe things from the past, especially with Pisces involved, holding us back. Maybe also emotionally, there are things inside us too that are making it feel hard for us in order to do the things that we want and need in order to live our dreams as well that could occur. That is going to, be with us. Around that same time that that's happening, this moon in Gemini is also going to be making a sextile over here to Uranus and Aries. So even though we could be feeling a little bit uncomfortable here about our goals and dreams, about what those things are, about how we reach those things, I feel like this sextile to Uranus, what's going on, this frustration may help us to think in new and different ways about how we can get the things that we want, about how we can do the things that we need to break free from some things in the past that are holding us back in order to move forward. That could come up there. About an hour or so after that happens, still before lunchtime, this moon in Gemini is then going to enter Cancer, where you see it in this chart. When the moon's in Cancer, it then brings our attention more to our emotions, paying attention to our emotions, dealing with our emotions. Also, home and family comes a little bit more into the picture, and finding a way to ground and stabilize yourself a little bit more. At the same time that that happens, this moon in Cancer is then going to make a sextile over here to Mars. So much happening before lunch time even comes. And what's going to happen then as this moon moves into Cancer, I think it's going to be a bit easier for us now to start to feel a little bit better. Feel like our emotions are being more taken care of, like we understand what we need in order to feel good emotionally and to move forward. And that's the last alignment that the moon is going to make today. Okay, I think this here, right around breakfast time, this alignment that really all this is going on, just to give you my first point, is going to be a good opportunity here, not only for you to envision your future and to think about your future and talk about it, but to identify the things that are challenging for you or that are holding you back so that you can come up with unique, unusual, or different ways in order to move past those roadblocks and move forward in a way that feels much better for you emotionally and takes into account what you emotionally desire. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about there. Unusual solutions to get the things that you need in order to feel better will be important today. Now the second thing I want to talk about, I think I'm going to go back here to where Mars is, number 2. Mars just moved into Taurus yesterday. Mars rules how we do things, how we act to get the things that we value. Mars in Taurus is very dedicated when it comes to getting the things that you want. Mars in Taurus is not very flashy in a lot of ways. It isn't really that unusual when it comes to doing a lot of things, but Mars and Taurus will stick with things till the very end. So I feel like with the moon in this spot today, we're getting some unique or unusual insights about what we need to do next in order to create better situations for ourselves in the future and reach our goals and dreams. And Mars and Taurus is going to help us stick to a plan of action, stick to and follow through with the things that we know are uniquely ours, that we feel the most authentic and the most true to our souls, so that we can eventually get those. We may not get those things right away because Mars just moved into Taurus, but if we stay focused, commit to some things that are important to us and work towards them without rocking the boat too much, Mars and Taurus is going to help us get the things that we deeply desire, value, see, and want. All right. Now, the third and last thing I want to talk about I'm gonna go right here where Mercury is, number 3. Mercury is coming closer here into a conjunction with Neptune and a square with Jupiter. This has a lot to do with communication. And this can be a little bit challenging for communication. That's because Mercury is in Pisces, a sign it does not like to be in. It's in shadow period, about to go retrograde, and it's about to come conjunct Neptune, which is a natural ruler of Pisces, which Mercury also doesn't like. And Jupiter too, it's on interesting terms with. So this can make conversations very confusing and frustrating. Maybe what's going on here with this alignment and a lot of other things in the astrology today is that we're getting more clear than we've ever gotten before on what our spirit and soul needs. In order to feel better about life, create new and better situations for ourselves that are more authentic, but perhaps communicating about the things that we're realizing our spirit and soul needs, and perhaps logically comprehending the things that are going on inside us is the challenging part, is the weird part, is the hard part. And I think that's what's going on today. Our intuition knows, your soul is starting to understand what it needs in order to break old habits and patterns, in order to move forward, getting over all old stuff. But it's hard to verbalize and communicate about those things and to understand it logically. And I think here needing to not try to understand things logically, but to let your heart, your intuition, your spirit, and your soul guide you, especially if you mean well, especially if what you want is going to help to liberate you from some old situations and create better situations for yourself as well. I think you have to trust that you are being led by a higher power to put you in the place that it is that you need to be. And I think if you can do that, things, even if they're feeling a little bit uncomfortable or uncertain at the moment, and confusing, are eventually going to end up okay. So that is your daily planetary forecast for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.